Next up, we have a theater kid going super nerd. To go from the nerd of theater to the nerd of tech is pretty impressive. Right. Oh, wow. Violence. No. But I did understand something. We do have a love for stray kids.
Oh, you told, yeah, I love K-pop.
So, anybody else watch the K-popping?
K-popping.
Right. Now, now help me out. Aren't they doing a thing? Isn't
K-pop
that a
Demon
thing?
Hunters, yeah, it's a movie.
That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, is that K-pop or is that J-pop?
No, that's K-pop.
That's K-pop.
K-pop.
Demon Hunters singy-songy is K-pop.
Yes.
No, J-pop.
K-pop.
K-pop, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Japan.
Don't let the letter fool you. All right, it's good. So, talk to us about your bias.
Oh, I bias all of them. I can't choose
No,
one.
you
Yes,
understand you have a favorite.
I
Nope.
can't. I'm
We're
OT8.
not letting you speak
I
till you
can't.
tell us
I can't.
who is
I
it.
love them all of them. They're all equal to me. I love them all.
Oh, my God. Whatever. Okay. And you started your own meetup group.
Yeah.
All right, where y'all sit together and talk about Nerdney.
Yep.
Are you going to tell them what the meetup group is, or is it a double secret?
If you live in Atlanta, it's called 75 South Devs. Yeah. And it's for people who live south of Atlanta.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I keep forgetting you're from Atlanta.
Yeah, for the last 2 years. Originally South Florida.
All right, you know I don't like Atlanta. You know that, right?
Okay, South Florida. Miami, hey, dale.
Anyway, if y'all don't know, New Orleans and Atlanta have a problem. If y'all don't know that, we got a serious problem, and it ain't even football. We just don't like them. All righty, but we like you.
Thank you.
All righty, and you're our bias.
Thank you.
I said something nerd. Bang your hands together for Miss Calypso Hernandez.
Yay! Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm Calypso. My talk, I know it's a different title. I keep changing the title. But basically, we're going to talk about posting online, okay? I'm not going to give you the blueprints. There's no magical formula, but I'm going to try to give you the confidence to just start posting, okay? All right, so these are the kinds of things we're going to cover. Practical ways to come up with content ideas, right? Simple storytelling frameworks, how to use AI to help plan and edit, but not to write. We don't use AI to write our content for us. It has no human connection in it. It doesn't feel like you, and it's not good. And then an approach to posting that feels sustainable, fun, something we can do consistently, right? Okay, so this is me. I'm Calypso. Like he said, I have a background in theater for the last decade. I did technical theater and design. I broke my ankle. I had burnout. Theater is very hard if you've never worked in theater. It is mentally so stressful. And after a while, you just like, if I do another show again, I'm going to rip my hair out. So, so we moved on from that, went into tech. It's something else I've always had an interest in for my whole life. So I was like, oh, why not? Let's do this. Of course, into the best tech job market there is right now. Great timing on my part. And then I also moved from a whole other state. So I had to basically rebuild my entire network, both professionally and personally. So some things I've learned from theater. Theater's all about storytelling. It's everything in theater. You want to make sure you're talking about specific details. Like, you don't want to just be like, oh, yeah, you know, I went to the store the other day. Boring, right? Okay, so I went to the store, and on the way, there was this guy, and he crashed into this other dude, and it was crazy, and his car flipped like 100 times. That's a more interesting story than, oh, I just went over there. Like, you want to have details. You want to have people, like, pulled into the story. And I'm all about gossip and chisme, so the more details, the better. Add visuals. Visuals are so helpful. I don't know if you're like me and you see like a wall of text, you're like, psych, I'm not reading that. I like the TLDR. Yeah. I'm like, give me the short notes on it, and then if it's something I'm like super interested in, I'll go back and read the whole thing. But I can't focus long enough to see like a giant paragraph and go, no, sorry. But if it's like something that catches my eye, then I'm more likely to stop. And then share emotion. We're not. Oh, I can just talk really loud. If you want to get that human connection going, which is something that robots have not yet been able to mimic well. So we're good so far. All right, the problem. What do I even post, Calypso? What the hell do I say? And then a lot of us have perfectionism paralysis. We've heard this a lot today. Like, I've seen a lot of people talking about just do it, even if it's not perfect. Make your project, do this, do that. Just put it up there anyway, right? Feeling like it needs to be like super polished, viral, groundbreaking. Like, I have to say something that no one's ever said, and it has to blow people's minds. Not true. You can say the same thing every other person is saying. Because you have a different life view and perspective, it's not going to be the same as what other people are saying. Okay, so the mindset shift we have to have. You already have tons of content. Like, your day-to-day life is content. Your experiences, your ideas, your perspectives. You came here, this is content. You came to the conference, oh, I went to the conference. I saw these talks, I learned this stuff, I met these people. That's all stuff you can post online. And I'm not like advocating to be an influencer. We're not here to be like the next viral influencers. This is more so just making yourself visible, because if you don't put yourself out there, no one's gonna know you exist. Like he was just saying, you know, if you didn't post it, who knows that you did it? So that's what we're trying to do. So first, your experiences like this, like I said, going to conferences, going out to meetups, having coffee chats. I did a whole blog post on a coffee chat that I had because it was super interesting to me. So just things like that. It's really easy to talk about experiences, in my opinion, because you're like, you could just go on a detailed like breakdown about, oh, what did I do? What did I learn? Like, what did I find interesting? And it doesn't take, like, in my opinion, a ton of brain power to go, happened. It keeps cutting. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Your ideas. So, okay, so this is interesting because this is a talk, because I come from the arts background. So in my mind, design basics, easy. This talk was called Design Basics for Web Developers. And after I gave this talk, the amount of people are like, oh my God, I didn't know this. It was amazing. And I was like, are you like messing with me? Because in my mind, it was simple stuff that I thought everyone knew. But these people were like blown by the information I shared with them. So you never know what'll click with people. So you just want to share what you know, what you're interested in, things like that. And then your perspective, like I said, your life choices, the way you've lived, your culture, your background, where you're from, totally different from everybody else. Even if you grew up in the same household as someone, your sibling has a different life experience than you do. So that no one's going to have the same two perspectives on something. Okay, and so everyday moments, how do we turn that into content? Things like an event you went to, like I said, maybe a challenge you face in coding. I have a lot of challenges in coding because I'm still very new to it, so I run into problems all the time. I remember I had an issue trying to figure out how to use tokens, auth tokens. And so, sorry, I went to Twitter, and the people on Twitter were more than happy to help me. I was like, hey, I need help. And I had like 20 responses in like 5 minutes. It was crazy. And then we ended up doing a whole podcast on it. And I was like, this is not what I anticipated. But it happened, so that was really cool. A cool tool you tried, remember when like the Ghibli thing was happening? Everyone posted it, every single person. So like just cool things that are coming out, you know, try it out. Say how you liked it, how you didn't like it, you know, things like that. I remember a lot of people were mad with the Ghibli thing because of the whole, like, what's it called, copywriting and stuff. So that was also a really interesting take on it, versus the people who are like, this is so cool, I'm a Ghibli character, you know? Yeah. Code snippets, tutorials, those are always great because things are always changing, so it's always great to like do a tutorial on the, or even on things that you think everyone knows. Like during the hackathon, I was sitting here with my friend and we were trying to remember how to start a GitHub. And we're like, wait, do we do it in VS Code? Like, do we create a repo and then we do it? And it took us a minute. But like even simple things like that where you're like, I haven't done it in so long. How do I start this again? And then just progress updates. So like I'm building this website, which is like, it started as an Excel sheet, but it's like a list of all the meetups, conferences, all the resources I could find. And they're all like Atlanta-based. So the resources are online, so anyone can use them, but the meetups and conferences and like that are Atlanta-based. And I found that a lot of people didn't know what was actually happening in their city, which was crazy to me, because I have a problem with over-researching things. Like, I fall down the rabbit hole, and then I have to know everything that exists in that, like, area. So that's why I made the Excel sheet, and then I ended up starting to build this site. I'm working on it still, but as you can see, it's, like, missing an image here. But it's there. It exists now. Okay, and so, okay. So, simple storytelling in 3 parts, right? What happened, what you learned and felt, why it matters. These are 3 simple things you can do to tell your story, write your blog post, whatever you need to do. And it doesn't have to be like some crazy formula. It's like, this is very simple. What did I do today? What did I learn? How did it make me feel? And why does it matter? And then the power of consistency. So you want to be more consistent. It's more important to be consistent over being perfect. Posting fairly regularly. I would normally post like once a week. It's not always like something crazy. It'd be like, hey, I went to this event, or oh, I learned this cool thing this week. And then sometimes I do longer blog posts versus like shorter like text posts. It doesn't always have to be the same, but you want to try to like post every so often. I haven't been so good this month because it's been insane with conferences and all that kind of stuff. So, and like I said, you don't need to post daily, just regularly. And then this builds like your brand and your trust in the community, and it helps people to see you more often, and then they recognize you and they relate you to the information you share. So in Atlanta, I'm very person. Like, people come to me to get connected with other people, to learn about events that are happening. I also run a meetup group, so I also have like tickets for conferences and stuff, so people come to me for things like that. I'm just like a wealth of knowledge when it comes to those areas. Now, if you're trying to learn how to incorporate OpenAI into your project, I might not be the person for you yet. We're working on that, but yeah. And then some formats that'll work. So like I said, we have tutorials, short text updates, build-in public updates, and then reflections from events. You can do all these. You can do one. It's up to you. There's no specific one that works any better than the rest. Okay, and then using AI. I use AI a lot, but I only use it in like the brainstorming, the like helping me edit. I'm not the best writer, so I use a voice-to-text website, and so I'll just like yap at the computer and then ask it to edit the information I gave it and then turn it into something that is more structured, because I tend to be repetitive when I talk to the text-to-chat, because I forget that I like mentioned it earlier, or I'm like, oh yeah, so there's this detail I forgot to mention. So it just helps me organize it. But you definitely don't want to have AI be your ghostwriter. AI is not writing the post for you. It's not going to be as good as you writing it, but it's definitely helpful. Okay, and then these are just some like prompts I usually give. I give very long prompts to AI when I talk to it. And so I asked it to help me come up with ideas for blog posts or like some kind of content that I could create based on my background. So like I personalize it for me. And I also love that ChatGPT is like, oh my God, you're the best. You're super smart. This is amazing. So that's awesome too. And then these are just some responses. So it's like feedback as a superpower, building community. And these are tailored to me because my GPT knows me and my background and the things I do. Oh, and then this is another one about like building your brand. There's a person I follow on YouTube called Chris Do, and he talks about brand building, and I really enjoy him, so I asked it to help me build out my brand based on like questions around the kind of content he creates. So then we go through one by one, I answer the questions, and it just helps me to like learn a little bit more about myself and my values and like what I'm trying to do. Okay, and then this is that site I mentioned that I'm currently working on. I keep getting yelled at by Hernandez to finish it, and it's gonna be finished eventually. I have like a lot of anxiety when it comes to like building things, because I always think, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't know how to do that. And it's like, of course you can do it. You just haven't learned how to do it yet. Maybe you haven't figured it out yet, but you're working towards it. So I understand that like anxiety and fear that people can get when it comes to doing anything. Even posting. I'm against social media. I don't like Twitter. I don't like Facebook. I don't like Instagram. But I still post anyway because it's what you need to do basically nowadays. So I kind of had to force myself into it. It took me a while, but then once I finally started doing it, it became easier the more I did it. Common fears. So what if nobody cares? At least one person will. Like that talk I told you about where I was like, oh, no one's going to care. Everyone knows this information. Psych, everyone was like, wow, what the hell? I never knew this before. What if I'm wrong? That's fine. Hernandez, every time he gets to talk, he's like, I might not be right, but that's okay. I'll learn, and then we'll fix it. And then what if I annoy people? They don't have to read your stuff. Oh, well, unfollow me. You don't have to read it if it annoys you. Yeah, I mean, you might get hate. I haven't gotten hate yet. The worst thing I've been called is AI. People thought what I wrote was AI, and I was like, psych, it's me, but all right. But that's like the worst comment I've gotten. You might get hate, but I mean, what do they have better to do with their lives? They could do something else. So when people are hating on you, I say, just ignore them. Just focus on the positives. Honestly, once I post something, I don't even look at it again. Like that doesn't exist to me anymore. I'm just worried about making the next thing better than the last. So what do we get out of this, right? Oh, look, it's Taylor. And I think Roxy's there too, yeah. So we get engagement and growth from posting, right? And we're not just posting, we're also replying to comments. We're commenting on other people's posts. We're engaging with the community. And community, to me, is always better than viral. If you want to be an influencer, this is not the talk for you. But if you're wanting to grow like your community, you want to get to know the people in it better, you want to help people, and that's another thing, you want to give as much as you get. We're not here to just be greedy and take. You have to give back to your community as well. And then these are my friends from Torque. I'm a Torque ambassador. I have the hoodie on, yeah. And Torque's a really great community. If you haven't joined, you should join. You come see me, I'll hook you up. And like I said, posting builds community and it builds your network. You never know who you'll reach. I'm friends with people that I never in a million years would have been like, oh yeah, I'm close friends with this person. They're director of engineering at Google. Like, excuse me? Why do I know that person? But I just happen to know them by going to events, talking about stuff. Honestly, just reaching out on LinkedIn. I will cold message people on LinkedIn just because I think they're interesting. And I'll be like, hey, I like your job title. You seem cool. Can we have a chat? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, people are so open to talking to you. And I have a bad anxiety about talking to people. As much as people think I might be an extrovert, I'm actually very much an ambivert. I don't really like being in front of people in the spotlight. That's why I worked backstage in theater. So I'm like, yeah, I'll put the spotlight on you. But I'm not one for like, hey, look at me. Even though I have like the hair and the piercings and all that, I know. And then when you do post, things like collaborating happens, right? So hackathons, the podcast, like I mentioned earlier, speaking. I've done like 10 talks this year, which is crazy because I went from doing no talks last year, just being in tech for the last 2 years. And then Hernandez and Alex and them all forced me to do a talk, and now I can't stop. I'm like addicted a little bit. Yeah, it is your fault. But yeah, and then I meet so many people at like events and stuff, and it's just really great to like be able to have those opportunities to work with people on things, even things maybe you never even thought about or thought were possible before. And then your content is also your resume. So if you're posting online, recruiters can see it, hiring managers. I know of tons of people who've gotten jobs just by posting things or doing open source work or things like that. And then thought leadership equals credibility. So the more you post about something, the more you're like viewed as an expert in that area. As long as you're right. Don't post wild, crazy stuff and be like, yeah, this is right. You know, if you're posting consistently about like Linux, or I know Linux is a huge, crazy community. There's so much about it. But yeah, so like I post about events and community and all that. And so that's why I'm Calypso. She knows everyone. That's like my thing in Atlanta, which I would have never thought if you had asked me 2 years ago. I'd be like, no, that's crazy. Yeah, and so what are we taking away from this talk? Start small. Just post about events, post about just things you're learning. Share honestly. Use AI as a tool and not a crutch. And consistency is better than being perfect all the time. We don't have time, but if you have questions or you just want to talk to me, I'm hanging out back there. And then these are my socials, so if you want to connect with me as well, yeah, that's it.